people that gossip about me were fighting me 2 against 1. I fought for myself. It did not come, no problem. You went to go and say, oh, because the other one is weaker. Can you imagine? Is that what he told you? Yes, that was God even exposing them. You should tell me. Are you okay? Do you feel better? At least they hope. I don't think you people take me the way I take you.
That's why I've taken one side.
But
and
eventually
I didn't take any side.
These people are the people that lied against me.
Stop saying it's 2 against 1. I was not there.
I never asked you to take my side.
Even in your mind, you think people being there for you is because they came to come and ask you, are you okay?
At least do that. At least.
I guess it took Onyeka the whole night to process what actually happened, because as of last night, Ozee came to her to have a conversation after talking with Victoria. Onyeka didn't act any way towards Ozee. In fact, after that whole conversation, they even played snooker. And then they dozed off on the couch. She even dozed off in between Ozee and OC. Now, Onyeka is telling Chizoba that she does not have any plans of speaking with Ozee today because she can't hide her feelings, that she can't be angry with you and be pretending she's not angry. That imagine that you called yourself her friend. You watched 2 people stand against her, fight her, insult her, say all manner of things to her, only for you to come later on and be telling me that you felt to go and speak to the other one because she's the weaker one. Chizoba was even surprised, like she now asked Onyeka, are you sure, is that the exact thing he said to you? And Onyeka said yes, that he said that he heard my voice in the kitchen, that I had other people, I had other allies that will speak with me. So he decided to go have a conversation with Victoria first. Well, that she just feel this is a way God chose to expose all of them to her. That imagine she was telling Ozee that statement Victoria was saying is to set her up, that you can set things up in the house against her, and you're busy asking me, no, are you sure, are you serious, no now. That's just God exposing them. Onyeka said she wished there was a diary session so she can just go in and pour her mind out to Biggie. Well, that this one Big is even vexing. Maybe even if there was a diary room, Big Brother won't have that time to pay attention. But Chizoba advised her to have a proper communication with Ozee, that she feels is just all about communication. And Onyeka said, which other communication? That after the pool party, both of them were lying down there. In fact, they might even appear like lovers, because she was just pouring out her heart and mind to him, trying to even tell him how to treat her in this house, trying to tell him more about herself so he will even know her more. Only for you the next day now, you're acting otherwise, telling me, oh, I heard your voice in the kitchen, so I know you sounded strong. That's why I decided to go meet the weaker one and talk to her. Well, it is about still maintain that the both of them should have an open communication. That it's from an open communication that she will get to even know why Ozee had to say that. And Onyeka is saying, oh, you heard my voice, I sounded strong. Even if I sounded strong, you called yourself my friend. You didn't even come to say, oh, how are you doing? You didn't even come to ask how far. You watched all that fights happen. Well, I guess maybe Onyeka wanted Ozee to come into the picture in the heat of the moment. I guess Onyeka has forgotten that Ozee's team allow people have their moments. You know, he's always against, whenever it gets a buzz is happening and you rush to the scene. He's against that now. And besides, Ozee was telling Kelly Ray and Ozee that he didn't even see the need to come there because he wasn't the one that triggered the fight. And besides, I don't even that bored that on any given buzz one would just rush to the scene. Well, fast forward to after Ben made breakfast for himself, Chizoba and Onyeka. Onyeka came to the dining to eat, and while at it, Ozee then came and asked Onyeka, are you okay? You know, Onyeka was giving him this facial attitude and now told Ozee, talk to Chizoba. Maybe Chizoba will be in the right position to tell you what the problem is. Ozee then turned to Chizoba and said, and now asked Chizoba, my office or yours? Chizoba said she does not have any office. Anywhere you want us to talk about it. And Ozee said, well, I want to go and cook this egg first. When I'm out, we can now talk about it. Meanwhile, at this point, Onyeka had walked out to the kitchen to drop her plates. Ozee then followed her to the kitchen. On getting into the kitchen, Ozee asked Onyeka, so what's the problem? Onyeka said she took her time last night to process all that happened, what you said to her. And Ozee was like, what did I say to you? And Onyeka said it's regarding the fight that happened though. That's okay. You and Ozee actually start there, watched how everything happened, And after that, you came to meet her only for you to say, oh, two of your friends were having issues, but you decided to talk to the weaker one. You considered her as a strong person, right? That you always say she's your tightest person in the house. Yet, you didn't even come to her and ask her, are you okay? At least even a hug. That didn't happen. That she just feels that the whole conversation you had with her last night is just excuses upon excuses because you came to her telling her, oh, that two of your good people, two of your friends had issue, and then you decided to go meet the weaker one first. That doesn't even seem sit right by her because the day you and Nelly had problem in this house, are you not the stronger one? Are you not the bigger one? Did she decide to take side or go and meet Nelly, the smaller one, and start talking to Nelly? And Ozzy was like, no, you can't bring up the issue with Nelly because like they don't even relate in this particular case. They are not relatable because you do not have a relationship with Nelly. That what you can say is maybe if he has a problem with Sean, you will now say, okay, that's what you can use as an example, not with what happened with Nelly. And that besides, it's what happened with Nelly, there was no fight there. Onyeka then cut in telling Ozee that what happened yesterday was two people against one. You watched them insult her, say all sorts of things to her. Still, you decided to go and move to that same person that was part of those that insulted her and said vile things to her. That is still the same you that is always saying, oh, Onyeka, you're always pouring your heart to random people. But when it happened yesterday, who were there for her? Was it not the same people you always consider random that were there for her? You and Ozee, the both of you weren't there, but it's fine. And Ozee now asks her, do you think people coming there to ask you how are you, that they genuinely care? Do you think those people genuinely care about how you feel? You don't know that just coming there to know whether to even fuel the fights. And I, that was somewhere trying to process everything, to come check up on you later, you see that, oh, I wasn't there for you. Well, Onyeka then told Ozee that it's fine, that it just shows her that you and Ozee do not take her the same way she takes you guys, because if the tables turn, that she know that definitely she will be with you guys, moral support, everything. That it just shows her that friendship with you guys is just a one-way thing. And at that, Onyeka then walked out and went to the restroom. Ozee followed her, telling her that she should come, let's just talk, that he wouldn't want a situation where this will linger for so long. Now, getting back, Onyeka said, okay, fine. You and your brother decided not to get into the issue, but why did Ozee even go and start saying, oh, I'm feeling really bad for Kelly Ray? Why are you feeling bad for Kelly Ray that you watched his duo Kassia insult me? You weren't feeling bad for me that was insulted. You're feeling bad for Kelly Ray. And Ozee tried talking to Onyeka that it's not like, that this whole dimension is not like you make it seem. And besides, why do you even say this to me yesterday when we had this conversation? That we had this conversation, we slept together, we basically crashed together, only for you to wake up this morning and you're giving me attitude, telling me, oh, you don't see the friendship, that the friendship is not genuine. That all he can say is that all you wanted was just for him to take side, which he won't do because these are his two friends having issues. That he kept mentioning, oh, when he had a problem with Nelly. Do you even have a relationship with Nelly? That if you want to bring an example, talk about Sean. If I have a problem with Sean, at least you have a relationship with Sean. And why are you even telling him to go and meet Chizoba? Maybe Chizoba isn't the right person to tell you. Why do you think making this thing that as if I've known you for long? We are just in this house. I'm trying to get to know you. I have not even known you fully well. I don't know how you operate. I don't know how you process things to an extent. That even when this thing happened yesterday, do you remember that after the fight, you came into the kitchen saying, oh, big brother, we are done. Bring alcohol. Let's move on. So you sounded fine. That even took me a time to say, okay, with Onyeka can be going through a lot at the same time, masking it with being jovial, that it's your coping mechanism, before he now decided to come talk to you. But Onyeka said, no, I'm not saying you should not talk to Victoria. I'm saying you could have even come ask me, how are you doing? At least say hug. Well, Ozee then asked Onyeka, if you were in my position, what could you have done? And Onyeka said, for example, the day you had a problem with Femi, that she stayed out of it. She said, oh, these two people are my guys, so let me just stay off this one. And Ozee now told her, do you see the problem? That with him, And Femi, there was no fight. It was just an argument. But did you listen to what the both of you were telling each other yesterday? That you guys were insulting each other, using vile words on each other, which by the way he hates. And besides that, you were the one that's gone for that fight, that you were the one that wanted that war, that he watched you literally beating and wanting that fight to happen, and then it happened and you are here saying, oh, nobody checked up on you. That maybe you should get into the mirror and look at yourself and see things from your own perception, like listen to yourself. Can't you even see the huge role you played in all of this? And Onyeka then told Ozee, well, it's fine, that all she was saying is, you call me the tightest, you say I'm the closest to you. Why not start with the one you're closest with? You know, check up on the one you're closest with instead of going to talk to it. I'm not saying you shouldn't talk to Victoria, but since you say I'm the closest to you, why didn't you start with me? Well, Ozee told Onyeka that's the problem, that he doesn't process things like you, the way you process things. And Onyeka said it's fine, that you even saying, oh, I was the one that wanted the fight. That it's fine, that one day the tables will turn around and you'll see. And Ozee said, God forbid. The tables will never turn around. He will never find himself in a situation where he'll be wanting war so badly in the house. Ozee told Onyeka that honestly, he had zero intention of talking to anyone first, that it just happened. And besides, he even came to you and they spoke longer. They spoke to the extent that they had to like doze off. And now you're saying the friendship is not genuine. Is that how you box the friendship we both share? Saying other people were there for you. Do you think those people were genuinely there for you? That they were just coming to check up and get info and feedback they will still give the other party. And you should also bear it in mind that he's Ozee, he's not Chizobad. I've known you for so long to know when you need succor. So always feel free to communicate with him. That last night, why didn't you just tell him immediately, oh Ozee, no, I think what you did is not right. I think you could have come to me first. Why allow the whole other conversation to happen with both of us went to bed, slept together, wake up now, and you're acting up? That honestly, he doesn't like the whole process of you after crashing coming to put up a drama. Where the head of house TJ then called on the housemates to gather together ahead of a task that just came in, and Onyeka told us it's fine, that they will talk later after the task. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'll be glad to read your comments and opinion regarding this.
Let's continue later.
I don't appreciate the fact that you didn't hug me, fine. But to start throwing away our friendship and saying you know where my loyalties lie and